Hello everyone, greetings and welcome to your favorite podcast channel, Nigeria Unfiltered. Shalom Ufomaru is my name, and I'm glad to welcome you to another episode in the series of the history of Nigeria. In our last episode, we looked at the Igbo pre-colonial society. Today, we want to discuss a very strategic, important and powerful kingdom in pre-colonial Nigeria. This kingdom happens to be the mother of several kingdoms that thrived and progressed, in fact succeeded in the 15th, 16th and 17th century. Welcome to the Great Benin Kingdom. Before I progress, I'd like to just do a background check. The Benin people are located in the south part of Nigeria, Edo State to be precise. They are said to be children of the great IGODOMIGODO. IGODOMIGODO means the ruler or god of the sky. That said, let's go fully into the Benin Empire or kingdom. History has it that the Great Benin Kingdom spanned from 1180 to 1897. According to history, the kingdom began sometimes in the 11th century AD. AD in this regard has to do with after the death of Christ. History has it that the Benin Kingdom had two dynasties before it was crumbled. The dynasties are the Ogiso Dynasty and the Eweka Dynasty. Now let's go fully. The Ogiso Dynasty started from Oba Ogiso, and according to history, after the death of Oba Ogiso, other Oba came on board and did well. But one of the most prominent and powerful Oba is Oba Ewuare. Oba Ewuare did a lot of conquests, and he was able to conquer a whole lot of kingdom. That's why in the 16th and the 17th century, the influence of the Benin Kingdom stretched as far to the western Ghana, conquering even Dahomey, Upper Volta, the middle belt part of Nigeria, the Thieves, the Igala, the other tribes within the middle belt. They traced their roots to the Great Benin Kingdom. More so, all the ethnic groups, majorly all in the Niger Delta axis, talking about the Itsekiri. Of course, history has it that the Itsekiri, they trace their origin to a prince from the Benin Kingdom called Iginoa. We also have the Urhobos, who also trace their origin to the Benin Kingdom, the Ijaws, the Efik, and other ethnic nationalities in the Niger Delta area. That said, the Benin Kingdom happened to be one of the most powerful kingdoms, stretching its influence across the coastal region and the coastal line and the continent of Africa. History has it that the first set of Europeans, that is the Portuguese, that came to Nigeria went straight to the Benin Kingdom. Everyone in the world want to have something to do with the Benin Kingdom. The first Portuguese in 1452 that came to Nigeria, the person of Roy de Siqueira, paid homage to the Oba of Benin. In 1485, the second Portuguese, in the person of Afonso de Aveiro, also came to visit the great and the ancient kingdom of Benin. That said, the Benin structure and organogram is monarchical, and it has to do with constitutional monarchy. By constitutional monarchy, the sacred custom, the traditions of the kingdom is what the Oba lays his stronghold on, is what the Oba used to rule the subject. The Benin Kingdom also have a council of chiefs, similar to the Oyo Mesi of the Great Oyo Empire, is the Uzama Nehiro. The Uzama Nehiro is a council that is a body that comprises 7 kingmakers. History has that these kingmakers, they decide, plays major role in the installation of the new Oba. And the head of the Uzama Nehiro, just as we have the Bashiru of the Oyo Mesi, is Oliha Nogele. The Oliha Nogele has to do with, in those days, like the prime minister of the council. The basic unit of administration in the Great Benin Kingdom happens to be the town. The town is headed by the Esoge, or the township, who reports to the palace. That said, I'd like you to know that according to history, during the time of Oba Ewuare, when the Western influence Europeans decided to come visit the kingdom of Benin, they started doing transaction. They came into the coastal line and the interland. They started taking the artwork of the Benin people, the bronze, the brassmith, terracotta, and their sculpture, and they start placing it all over the street of Europe because it was a great thing to behold. According to history, after the death of Oba Ewuare the Great, who was said to be very powerful and influential, he was the one that did most of the conquest and expanded the frontiers of the Benin Kingdom. The people of Benin decided that they are tired with the Oba Dynasty, that is the Ogiso Dynasty, and they sent for the Prince of Ife, to come rule them. And the coming of the Prince of Ife ushered in, heralded the second dynasty. And the first king that ruled was King Eweka. Hence, he institutionalized and validated the Eweka Dynasty. History has it that after the death of Oba Eweka, other kings, Oba, ruled till it ended in 1897 during the reign of Oba Ovoranwen. I'd like you to know that a lot of questions, a lot of conversations, discourse, permutations have been ongoing as to the influence the Benin Kingdom have in present-day Nigeria vis-a-vis traditional institutions. I'd like you to know this. The role of the Oba of Benin cannot be overemphasized. The influence of Benin stretched even to Eko. Eko is a favorite son of the Oba. In fact, history has it that it was the Benin Kingdom that established Eko, where you now have present-day Lagos. So you can see that there is a linkage with the Benin and the Yorubas. Hence, the Prince of Ife was sent for to come be the next king to start the Eweka Dynasty. Having said that, I'd like you to know what actually transpired, what went on that brought about the fall the crumble, and the dismantling of the Great Benin Kingdom. It started sometimes in the 18th and 19th century. Rumors and information got to the monarch of England. During that time, colonialism was trying to find its foot in Africa. Of course, we're not discussing about colonialism. However, there is no way we cannot talk a little about colonialism when discussing the Benin Kingdom. Because history has it that not until 1900, the administration of Nigeria was left to the Royal Niger Company. And the Royal Niger Company administered Nigeria. In this regard, the British government have started gaining influence and control over the borders of Nigeria. And of course, during this period, history has it that, so after that time, the influence of the British government was already high in the area called Nigeria. It started this way. The British monarch and government sent Consul Philip to pay homage to the people of Benin, because the news about the influence, the power, and the greatness of the Benin Empire has cut across Africa. Not just Africa, it has extended to Europe. When Consul Philip came with his entourage, they paid obeisance to the Oba, and they came visiting the Oba. And according to history, they came during the period when the Oba cannot be seen, regardless of the person that is coming to visit him. And there's something I'd like you to know about the Benin Kingdom or the Benin Nation. They hold their tradition so dearly, they don't joke with their Oba. Of course, the Benin people, they are richly rooted in culture. That said, Consul Philip, being a white man, trained in his own ways, the Western ways, thought that he could force his way to seeing the Oba. Despite every effort to calm him down, to stop him, he thought it could have smacked the great warriors of the palace. And unfortunately, tragically, he was killed, and his men escaped. So those that escaped got home to Britain and passed the information about the demise of Consul Philip. The monarch of the British government thought it was a slight, it was a turn down and an embarrassment, saying that they came for diplomatic reasons or for diplomatic ties. They reinforced this time around to launch a vendetta. And according to history, the Great Massacre, the punitive expenditure, the killing of the Benin people, the slaughtering of human beings, animals, the bloodbath that wiped over 20% of the Benin nation occurred. Every true son and daughter of the Great Benin Kingdom that, came out from IGODOMIGODO, that has to do with the Edo people, will never forget this day. January 1897, the unexpected happened. The reinforced soldiers of the British government invaded the Benin Kingdom. Despite the efforts made by the warriors of the Benin Kingdom alongside their allies within Niger Delta regions, the rebels and what have you, they were overpowered because of the sophisticated weapon that the British officials came with. They were able to outsmart the Benin soldiers, killed a lot of them, and according to history, they wouldn't have been able to penetrate the palace or the inner circle of the Oba of Benin. So the Iyasere had to let out the cat out of the bag. History has it that he betrayed the Oba. I'm not in a discourse to contend whether or not he betrayed. What mattered most was that he was the one that made the secret, the sacredness of the Benin people exposed to the British official. And of course, and after the capturing of Oba Ovoranwen of Benin, he was stripped of his powers, ridiculed, beaten, embarrassed, as if he was never a royalty. Angrily, he cursed the land and was sent on an exile to Calabar. Whilst in Calabar, thinking he would be respected because of his antecedents, he was never respected. He further met humiliation in the highest regard. He caused the people of that land, and to date, history has it that the cause is standing. That said, I'd like you to know that the coming of the white man into Nigeria was not a walk in the park. It was met with stiff opposition, and 4 monarchs were noticeable to have waged a war against the British government. And according to history, this 4 monarchs includes Oba Ovoranwen of Benin, King Jaja of Opobo, Oba Kosoko of Eko, and Nana of Ichekiri. To this end, we've come to the end part of the episode on our journey to the Great Benin Kingdom. If you are a son, daughter, lover, or friend of the Great Benin Kingdom, I'd like you to engage, promote, and subscribe to our channel. Till when next we meet, I remain Shalom Ufoma